Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, with my beautiful bearded heterosexual Jewish life partner, Josh, over there operating the controls and dancing around those buttons like Corinne Jean-Pierre dances around questions from Peter Ducey. That was a mouthful. That's what she said, yeah. I'm on it today. Still feeling a little bit of recovering from the sinus infection. Still, cough is still lingering. Sorry for the lateness on today's live podcast today. We had a very important meeting we had to get to prior to the show, which involved copious amounts of Chick-fil-A. Yeah. So that took precedence. Just so you know your place, listeners, viewers, supporters. When it comes to you and Chick-fil-A, you are always taking a back seat. I just want you to be aware of that so you know your place in the pecking order that is the Shell Shock Empire and the Savage Nation. So
delicious Christian chicken.
Gotta love the Lord's Nuggets. Lord's Nuggies. Gotta love the Lord's Nuggies. Well, what do we got today, folks? We got a decline in retail sales since November, of course, as to be expected with the inflation and recession being the way it is. You got more information coming out on the non-binary puppy play Sam Brinton, I think his name is. Come to find out that his top secret security clearance is being brought into question. And then apparently this guy also helped facilitate some groomer behavior in some academias across the country as an LGBTQ activist. That's coming out. Go figure. He really knows how to pick them. And as soon as Superman gets hired, Henry Cavill, he gets fired. He's not returning to reprise the role of Superman. We got more on that for you later in the show. We've got Barbie that I'm trying to ask our audience whether or not I'm overstepping on this one because I don't know. But I want to get your feedback on this to where I think that maybe Barbie, we already know they're pushing the trans agenda, but are they now doing the furry agenda? I'm going to get some feedback from you, the viewer, the listener, the chatter, and see what your thoughts on this are. Because again, jury's out for me. I don't want to project a bias here. I don't want to be like how people were on the Tim Allen Christmas show where all these boomer Republican influencers and the blue checks are like pearl clutching that they misspelled Santa for Satan. It's like, oh my God, not a children's, oh my God. You know, because we were talking about that prior to the show and like people just flipped their shit over that.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was stupid.
I watched it. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. But some boomer Christians are like, well, that doesn't belong in a children's movie.
Of course, it's Disney, so I mean.
It is Disney, yeah.
They kind of did that to themselves, but.
Yeah, but I just feel like if this is what we're going to really jump up and down and stamp our feet about, I think there are bigger fish to fry than a Satan joke, which clearly the joke itself showcases that they're not supporting Satan. It's the joke making fun of Satan. Mm-hmm. But again, I think people don't see that far into it. They just take it at surface value. It's like, oh, that's just so repugnant. It's like, lighten up, Francis. Like there are bigger hills to die on than this one. Like, I don't know, trans agenda, gay agenda being pushed on our children.
Yeah.
But to each their own. Some people pearl clutch harder than others do. Some people can loosely clutch their pearls. Yep. I prefer to clutch my jewels. But, well, hey. Monthly deals we got going on for Shell Shock. As you know, we have the mattress giveaway. No, this is real. We're doing a $1,000 mattress gift card to the place of your choice. If, say, like you live in New Orleans or you live in Manhattan or you live wherever, we are going to essentially find a store next to you or near you that sells mattresses and essentially buy you a $1,000 gift card to said store for you to spend on whatever mattress you so choose. Also comes with a $500 Shell Shock gift card. How do you enter? Very good question. Go to the Shell Shock CBD website. I believe we have it listed there. It's on my page on Instagram. And in fact, I will even give you the link to go sign up. And I'll also tweet the link out for those that don't watch the show live where you can also find it. But here is the link. I'm posting it in Rumble. Excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and post it over on the YouTube chat. I am still very, very surprised we even have that YouTube page. It's
a real shocker.
It's a real shocker. They haven't flagged us for anything. It's like, I think it's because we're flying under the radar for some reason. I don't know how. The fact that we talked about things that got us banned on the other account and they still haven't banned us on this one, it's probably because they had eyes on us already. So, excuse me. But anyway, go sign up for the mattress giveaway and the Shell Shock card giveaway. All you have to do is enter your email, and we're going to email the winner at the end of this month. You will be notified by email, and please keep in mind, you have 48 hours to respond. If you do not, we're going to have to pick a different winner. So please keep that in mind. And then we have the Rocket Fuel shirts are 50% off, no code needed. We have, I think, 12 left in inventory. We're getting rid of them. They're not coming back. And then the Halo Ultra gummies. If you like Delta 8 and you feel like the 25 milligrams might not be enough for you, we've got the Delta 8 Halo Ultra gummies. These are 50 milligrams of Delta 8 per gummy for you. And these things are going to get you ultra high, and these are available on the website right now. All right. Last and most certainly not least, say, for example, you don't want to purchase Shell Shock because you can't for whatever reason. Well, folks, right now, if you support the show on Locals, it's like $4.99 or whatever amount you want to make. We're doing giveaways now every month. For this month, we're doing the mattress giveaway. Now, next month, we've got 3 options. And our local supporters, the paid supporters, they're going to pick. We're going to put it to a vote, and they get to pick. So if you financially support the show over on the Locals page, you are the ones that get to vote. So here are the 3 options for the January giveaway from Shell Shock. And we're going to do this once a month. And here's your 3 options. We can do an iPhone, brand new. We can do a $500 Visa gift card. Or we can do a 42-inch TV. Only locals get to vote, though. So if you're wanting to support the show, have a say in what's being given away every month, you can go over there and vote. Here is a link. It's just Locals. Go to locals.com/John Burke, I believe it is. locals.com/member/John Burke. Check that out. You can go vote. And again, only the financial supporters, you get the vote. Just like on Twitch when we did it was like subscriber only chat, same thing. Yeah. So, and for people that support us on Twitch, we're no longer on Twitch. So make sure you check to ensure that you've canceled your subscription, because they don't cancel that automatically. You have to do it on your end. So please make sure you do that, because they've banned us on Twitch. We don't have any channels there. Yeah, I hate to see people, I mean, we still get the money. They still send it to us, which is great, but they're still getting a cut. And that means we're inadvertently supporting a woke leftist bullshit company that pushes this trans bullshit LGBT mafia on everybody. So keep that in mind. But that's what we got coming up for January, February, and March. And we're offering 3 new options to choose from for raffles each month. And we raffle this off. You can enter to give away. And this is kind of like the Shell Shock giveaway we're going to do every month. Yeah. Which I think is really cool. So, pardon me. Looking forward to doing that. So once again, go check out the mattress. That's going at the end of the month. $1,000 to the mattress location near you. And it's also great. You can bang Josh's mother on it. No? No. No, okay. Fuck. What about you?
What?
What? No? What?
I'm still getting things set up over here.
Josh is like half paying attention.
I know.
Like, he made a mom joke. He made a mom joke, and then it was like, oh, wait, what?
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. All right, well, let's get into it, folks. Retail sales declined sharply in November. High inflation and anxiety over a looming recession may have weighed down holiday spending in November. And our survey says, no shit.
Really?
No. You don't say. Maybe because and I'm not attacking the writers of this article. It's just common fucking sense at this point. It's like pointing out what we already know to be true. But because, I'd say the overwhelming majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And what happens when you start to tighten the purse strings? Well, suddenly fiscal prioritization becomes a very key factor in your day-to-day life. So, for example, I am going to have to stop buying the energy drinks because gas has doubled in price. Granted, it is coming down now, thankfully, to an extent. But even still, we see it in Shell Shock. You know, our sales have dipped as well. People can no longer afford the cosmetic things. They have to focus on, I don't know, food, gas, water, electricity.
Yeah, for gas, talk to me when it's back to where it was.
Yeah, prior to,
Yeah, don't tell me about how great it is now that it's not $7 a gallon.
Yeah.
It's just under $4 a gallon. Well, dipshit, before you took office, it was like $1.85.
Yeah. He's going to brag about how his administration brought it back down. It's like, but your administration, like, shot it up. I mean, cool. Again, we've said this time and time again. It's like the arsonist saying, hey, look, I put out the fire that I started. It's like, well, what do you want? I don't here's your reward. More money to Ukraine. How about that? Oh, by the way, he announced even more money. Also, I think it was $8 million or $8 billion to Africa to shut down coal plants.
It's got to be billion.
I think it's billions. I think it's $8 billion to Africa.
If they say million, they're just tipping somebody.
Bro, I can't even. On a scale of 1 to even, $8 billion to Africa to shut down coal. Like, and this is the thing that I feel like Republicans really need to start taking liberals seriously on. These are not just words they spit out when they're talking about like revolutionizing green energy. Biden's moving forward with this. He is throwing money at these countries to facilitate and make this come to fruition. Yeah. And he's using your money to do it. Meanwhile, these other countries are going to remain on their own. China's never going to go for it. Indonesia's never going to go for it. Major pollutants of the world are not going to go for this. So realistically, what are we doing here? Why is America, again, once more, footing the bill? It feels like Biden has now turned into like a Bernie Sanders with a gun. Once again, I am taking your support. I'm not asking, I'm taking.
Like, they just use this as a means to...
It's ridiculous.
Launder money so they can pay themselves. Julian Assange talked about this shit a while ago.
It's not surprising.
Where he said that the Afghan war, it was never supposed to end, but it was just a means to launder money through that war for that purpose.
Yeah.
So it was never going to end.
Where we're at now, it's just, again, it's repetitiousness. We see a problem, the government throws our money at it, regardless of how effective or ineffective. That's always their go-to. That's always their answer. Throw money at it. Throw money at it. Meanwhile, I kind of like to, keep more of my own money. It's just nuts to me. It's just nuts to me.
I don't know. You're
gonna
have a hard time convincing me that.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna fucking say it. Josh comes to me like 4 or 5 days ago, and he's giving me my pay stub. He's like, you know what you paid in taxes this year so far? I was like, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to fucking know. You know how much I personally have paid in taxes?
It's a lot.
Almost $95,000. Folks, that's $95,000. That's a lot of fucking money in tax that the government gets. Now, what could John Burke do with an extra $95,000 per year? I would definitely expand Shell Shock, throw way more money into advertising to try and increase profits, hire on more people, expand the company. John Burke is not going to pocket that money. Now, John Burke is well within his right to pocket that money. 100%. That's my fucking money. But at the same token, I'd be an idiot not to take that money and basically split it, put some of it in savings, and then throw the rest of it back into reinvestment into growing this company, acquiring new customer bases through expanding of advertising on podcasting such as this. But instead, the government gets that money and they're throwing it to Ukraine. They're throwing it to Africa to deal with these issues that don't directly impact American values here at home. So once again, proving that the free marketeer capitalist, such as myself, is 10 times more effective at managing my money and stimulating my local economy and creating jobs than the government is. But being that we have these people that are elected by the people, for the people, are not for the people anymore. This is corporatist America. So the socialists kind of have something here where they talk about wanting to break down, but their fix to this is not really pragmatic. It's like, we want to break it down, but then give them more power. Like, no, absolutely not. Communists get it wrong because, like, well, it should be, community organized. No, it doesn't work that way. People, by and large, are fucking lazy. So why should those that are inspired to go out and create and earn and grow be hamstrung by the lazy motherfuckers? Because trust me, we got a lot of them in this country. We do. Almost $95,000 I pay in fucking taxes this year.
Year ain't over yet.
Year ain't over yet. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. When Josh showed that to me, I was just like, man, I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that.
It's nice, right?
All I see is a gay little fucking blue and yellow flag attached to that money. And bye-bye. Bye. Meanwhile, some Russian fucking loyalist cocksucker over in Ukraine that's in a jumpsuit, probably beating his fucking wife with his 4 kids, living in some shithole. He's getting my fucking money. Folks, I don't give a fuck about those people. I don't care. Why? Because Putin wants to come in and fucking kill him? Well, I'm sorry. I feel no different than in the Middle East. What differs? You know there's unprovoked invasions and wars over there in the Middle East that we have no business getting involved in, but because it's bad guy Putin, suddenly we got to give a fuck? No, I'm sorry, I don't. Because the EU and the Obama administration helped facilitate this. I'm tired of fucking paying for their mistakes. And I mean that in the fiscal context. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts. I'm New Yorker today. Fuck Ukraine. Slave Ukraine. Who gives a fuck about them? When it comes to my money and putting food on my table, we're the priority. This is ridiculous. Once again, folks, just at the government showing the incompetence that it has as an organization. And you know what the funny thing about this is? It's not that they're incompetent. They're just slimy. They know what they're doing. They're very competent. If there was no political corruption, if they were actually on board for an actual altruistic reason, then shit would actually be getting done. But instead, this is just more nepotism. It's more corruption. It's more laundering, kickbacks galore, stock market. It's so fucking, again, honestly, the only way to really undo this is to just overthrow it. But then again, in 200 to 300 years, we're in the same situation. The only difference I would add to if there was a revolution and the government was overthrown, the Constitution, I feel, should stand, but there should be amendments that are added to it, such as term limits. You will have no more than 4 years in any branch of government.
Yeah, you'd think they would have put that in there in the very beginning, right?
You'd think, yeah. I think that's the one thing our forefathers fucked up on. I do.
Of course.
And the reason I know they fucked up on it is look at the situation we're in. Yeah. This is the exact reasoning why it's fucked up.
They're like, yeah, surely nobody would want to run for government.
And I know people are not going to like this. They're not going to like that John Burke is criticizing the forefathers, but the forefathers didn't get everything right. But I still give them ultimate those two. Hopefully they got lots of crops. Ultimate props and praises. They did something phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. But we can address certain issues or certain loopholes that were left in the Constitution that do need to be filled. And that is term limits. Term limits, and then if the Constitution is a living, breathing document that can be changed and amended as according to the Constitution, then there should be amendments put in there that we talked about before. If you are in Congress or any branch of the government, regardless of what level you serve, you are not provided access. You are not legally allowed to access stock trading. You can't at all. Not through secondary or tertiary part, none. And if anything is found that you're in league with anybody that's, say, for example, investing for you, you're going to jail.
Yeah, those should carry like the heaviest crime, the sentencing.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, fuck me in the ass.
I mean, what they're doing is it's awful.
All I just see is Biden throwing more money to
himself and his friends and his buddies all over the place. His Chinese buddies, his Ukraine buddies. Yeah. It's just sprinkling our cash all over the place.
All over the fucking place.
He can get his 10%.
Dude, it's just ridiculous. I'm just over this shit. Well, non-binary ex-Biden official Sam Brinton, a.k.a. the luggage suitcase thief, that guy, yeah, him, helped craft policy to hide student sex changes from parents. Yeah, there's more to this whack job than meets the eye. This was, of course, Biden's previously nominated what was he, deputy official for nuclear waste disposal or some shit like that? Just some crazy, like, it's some back hole in the wall office, like underground the White House. He's like the Steepler guy. It's like, but we hired a gay. Makes us look good. Give him the office back there, but nobody's gonna really talk to him. But we hired a gay. It's why they hired this guy. I guarantee.
He's gay extra.
Oh, he's super gay. There is gay, then there's no. He's pretty gay, and there's holy fuck that dude's gay.
Yeah.
This guy is like, holy fuck that dude's gay.
Like, oh.
100%.
Like your dress and lipstick.
It's ridiculous.
Matches your bald head.
But they hire this guy, and you're just at a loss with this. You're like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry. I bet he walked in his interview wearing lipstick.
Probably.
I bet this fruitcake walk in there with lipstick on his face, just brain awry with degeneracy. And when I say that, it's not because he's gay, it's because all the shit that's come out about him.
Yeah.
Now listen to this. This is who they hired, folks. This is the White House. This is the White House where you have to go through the biggest security clearances there are in America. And this guy, Sam Brinton, the non-binary ex-Energy Department nuclear waste official, facing major prison time, once helped a nonprofit group craft a model school policy adopted in several states that tells schools to hide alleged gender identity and sexual orientation changes from unaffirming parents. This guy is disgusting. Between 2017 and 2020, Brinton was head of advocacy and government affairs at the Trevor Project, an LGBT group focused on youth suicide prevention, according to Brinton's LinkedIn. In 2019, Brinton played a role in developing a 37-page booklet titled Model School District Policy on Suicide Prevention, which puts restrictions on how much teachers can talk to parents or guardians if their LGBT child is suicidal. So once again, this is removing the right of the parent to have guidance over the child. If the child says that I'm gay, now all rights to parents are forfeited and the state steps in. You've nationalized. This is an attempt to nationalize parenting. Are you out of your fucking minds? And I'm warning you, you LGBT purveyors of degeneracy and grooming, The more you continue doing this, the more you're going to get West Virginias. You keep fucking with the mothers. You go after the kids, you fuck with the moms.
Yeah.
Once you've done that, it's over. Now, I don't know about you, but in the South, I'm just going to say it, you go fuck with a Southern black mom and you see what happens. You go fuck with a Southern redneck mom and you see what happens. The color and shit, it doesn't matter. You fuck with them, they will fuck you up. They do not play games. They will be the ones to get in your face. They will be the ones to assault you out in public. They don't care. And honestly, to be perfectly frank, they're justified in my eyes. You go after the kids, you get what's coming to you.
Yeah.
You have no coverage of the concept. You have no rights in my mind. If you are an open Marxist, groomer, pedophile lover, you do not have a place in this society. Now, I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly because I feel everybody, if you're a citizen of America, you have a rightful place in our society, regardless if I politically disagree with you, which I do by and large with a lot on the left and a lot within the LGBT. But by you being gay, you still should be afforded every single right that a straight person does. But the moment, like I've said, regardless of which political side you come from or what sexuality or what religion, the moment you go after kids, you're done. You're not a human in my eyes. You're not even American. That's just the way I feel. But I'm telling you right now, the more that these White House officials hide or try and, well, I'm really, they had to have hidden this. How did this not get discovered?
You knew they knew about this.
They knew about this, yeah.
They knew about this shit.
But that's where we're at.
That's where we are.
That's where we're at.
They're a bunch of sickos, man.
It's disgusting. It is disgusting. And folks, it doesn't stop there.
You know, for them to keep pushing trans kids or saying kids are trans, should tell you all you need to know about this administration.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of fucking perverts.
They are. You take one look at this guy. This is a grown man wearing lipstick. This is a grown man wearing, and again, bring back traditionalism. Bring back traditionalist masculinity. Bring back the alpha male. Stop promoting these betas. Stop giving into fucking mental weakness. That's all this is. This is mental weakness shrouded in LGBT activism. That's all this is. This is a cry for, I need attention. I have no personal validation. I need it from other people through activist methods. That's what this is at the core of it. What are you being an activist for? Because they've already got it equally across the board for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been legalized again at the federal level to marry, have same-sex. Great, cool. But at the same token, you're going after kids now. So why would you expect us to support that? But I do like how now, again, the official counter narrative to this accusation from the right towards the left, their defense of this is saying, no, you're trying to make the LGBT akin to grooming. It's like, no, grooming has become way more prominent in the LGBT because you've endorsed these events that sanction this type of behavior. So naturally, what are we led to assume? That majority of the homosexual communities in America are now in favor of this because your organization is openly supporting it. It'd be like the Boy Scouts supporting sex with children. Well, if you're a Boy Scout and you're a part of that organization and you still pay dues into it and you still go out there and you rep it, then clearly you must be okay with that. Because if you weren't, you would not be a part of that organization. You need to leave that organization.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, if people identify with the LGBT, then you are in agreement. You're in agreement with the drag queens for children. This is not being hidden anymore, folks. It's out there. Just go look at TikTok. It's all over. To sit there and deny it at this point, it just means you're lying to yourself. There is no denying it is here. And people say they're coming for your kids. They're here. They're not coming. They are here for your kids.
Yeah.
This is not some kind of misinformation. Alex Jones, like they're turning the kids gay. They're here, folks.
They're having these meetings at school board.
Exactly. They are attempting to indoctrinate your children into this perverse ideology. No, a child has no business learning how to spank, how to use an anal toy.
Yeah.
That comes with, maturity. But not at fucking 8, 9, 10 years old. Are you kidding me?
Do you ever talk to anybody about anal plugs or?
Fuck no, not even my straight friend. Not even. I mean, jokingly, but nothing in the context of like, I really like that JS7 model. It's got that nice little twist to it. I can just spit on it and just slides right in there. Get some WD-40 on it and just slide right in there. And it makes a little weird smell, but you know what I'm talking about. Bubba anal sex coming to you. Time Life Classic. No, I get it. Yeah, it's not something. But even in an educational manner, I don't feel like that's the school's responsibility. I feel it's more so in the sense of from a biological.
It's not even a question.
Yeah, I feel like sex education, for me, I think it should be taught in the sense of these are STDs. This is what a condom is for.
Yeah.
This is what this is how you have safe sex. But you should not go into the
biology.
whole, this is what a strap-on is for. This is what a dog mask is for. It's like, no, that is not your role. There has to be constraints.
You don't bring sex toys into the conversation when you're teaching sex ed.
No,
like,
absolutely not.
Let me wheel in this tray of dildos.
Oh, my gosh. It's just crazy to me at this point, dude. I don't get how. But like I said, the more that they're going to push this, the more that the moms are going to turn against them. And now this, again, you don't see this from teachers that seem to be normal. You see it from the gay teachers. Every single teacher on TikTok. This is not anecdotal. No. Every single teacher, they look like a wacko. They got the bleached hair, the dyed hair. They're fat. They're unattractive. They're unfuckable. The dudes that are, the guys are normally gay. The women are like normally lesbians. These are not normal people. And I'm going to say it. This has been seen and no one wants to just put this out there. First, it was accept us. Then it was let us get married. And we were cool. You know what? It took some conniving. It took some convincing. And then finally people were like, you know what? Liberty for all. I agree. But it didn't stop there. Then it was, now you have to agree with us. Now you have to celebrate us. Now you have to believe in the whole transgender ideology. Now you have to believe in multiple pronouns. Now you have to believe in multiple genders. And I'm sorry, this all came from the LGBT. This did not come from heterosexual, white nationalist Christian America. Like you want to blame them for fucking everything. If it rains, it's the white nationalists. If it does this, it's the fucking MAGA Republicans. But nobody wants to call out the LGBT for the perverse degeneracy that it is espoused and is continuing to push. And the reason that adults are pushing back so much is the very reason why the groomers are now going after the children. They've realized the adults are not buying into this bullshit, and they see how extreme and insane this is going. So if they can't make any progress on that front, go to the children. They're easily susceptible to bullshit, misinformation, and propaganda. We can indoctrinate them and turn them into allies at a very young age. This is what they are doing. This is clear. This is not hidden. It's not like it's some backroom agenda. They literally had songs about all those fucking gay dudes. We're coming for your kids. We're coming for you. Deserve a bullet in your fucking head. Because if there was a straight guy saying that about homosexual people, you'd be shitting your fucking Fruit of the Looms right now. But what changes? It's because of gay privilege. Because you are protected by that rainbow flag that is bullshit. And that's not a slant at someone if they're gay. That's the organization and that you're a part of.
Yeah, I don't think you could really say if you don't give a guy a blowjob, then you're homophobe.
Exactly.
What?
Oh, fucking exactly. I mean, it's the things people need to hear. And we need to start saying this in unison. Make them afraid. Make them scared. They should be afraid to go out in public if you're performing at an event with children. My other question is, why would you want to perform at an event with children as an adult, as a grown man? It's disgusting to me. But this is what they hire at the White House. If the White House can't even do a background check on this guy and get it accurate, really? That just shows incompetence at the highest level. The highest level.
Yeah, this whole administration is a joke.
It's a dump. Yep. It's a dump.
It's a money grab. That's all it is.
In addition, our research shows that more than half of the LGBTQ youth are not out to a single adult in school. These policies show LGBTQ youth, out or not, that their school is a safe place for them to learn and that school staff are prepared to help them in times of crisis, wrote Brinton in a September 2019 press release. That's not your role. That is not your role. I don't understand how anybody would think that's their role. Outside of that, you got to give it back to the parents. Because honestly, this is one of those things that LGBT people cannot accept. The idea that, hey, parents are allowed to disagree with you and raise their children as they see fit. If they don't want their children being raised in a gay environment, they don't have to. That's what being a parent is. They own that child. You do not. So if you don't like how that parent is trying to raise that child, and maybe it's contrary to what you're raised in or what you believe, which is your sexuality, whatever the case, say like that's a Christian household, you do not have the right to try and interject your politics and sexual beliefs onto other people's kids. You do not. You do not have that right. Just like they do not have that right to project that onto your child if you were gay. Would you be okay with a Christian school going to the child of, say, for example, a gay couple and saying, no. If they're trying to, you're straight. They're trying to force the sexual. That's what you're doing. The only reason you agree with it is because it favors your beliefs. But you can't separate yourself from the situation and understand it for what it is. The role of the state versus the role of the parent. And the state has no business getting involved. None. Fucking none. That's pathetic. That's not the America I want to live in. And it doesn't stop there. Former officials in multiple presidential administrations are questioning how disgraced gender-fluid Biden Energy Department official Sam Brinton received a high-level security clearance. An outspoken LGBTQ activist who goes by they-them pronouns, Brinton was appointed in February and was the first gender-fluid person to hold a federal leadership role. He's also the first one to be fired that is gender-fluid, which is fucking hilarious. Way to rep your community, buddy. Brinton was fired, however, after allegedly stealing luggage at airports in Minnesota and Las Vegas. The former official now faces a felony charge for the alleged theft in Minneapolis, while Vegas authorities have issued a grand larceny charge. Inconsistencies in Brinton's origin story were highlighted by news site LGBTQ Nation, pointing to a lack of transparency and differing accounts given by Britons since Brinton first rose to prominence as an LGBTQ activist in 2010. A former Justice Department official in the Environment and Natural Resources Division told the Daily Caller it's possible due diligence on Brinton was sidestepped over concerns about discrimination laws and public accusations of discrimination against an LGBTQ person. Again, this is what you don't say out loud, but it's the reality. Let me read that again. This is the part that you don't say out loud, but everybody knows secretly what this is really about. He was sidestepped over concerns about discrimination law and public accusations of discrimination against the LGBT. Again, what this basically is saying is that we couldn't dig too deep into this one because basically they'd accuse us of going after somebody because they're gay.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's exactly it. So don't tell me that gay privilege does not exist, because according to this guy's sexuality, they didn't really dig, possibly. This is what they're speculating. And the thing is, I can 100% see it true. I can 100% see it being true. Absolutely.
I see him using it as an excuse.
Oh, absolutely.
But definitely knowing about this guy's background.
Yeah.
I just don't think you move into that position without being thoroughly vetted.
I agree. And I feel like the Biden administration tapping this guy without fully vetting him is simply relying on the fact that he's an LGBTQ activist. And for some reason, that makes him just a good person. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the whole, like the civilians had to learn about veterans. Not every veteran is a good person. Just because they call themselves a veteran does not make them a good person. Yeah. Does not mean you should donate to their cause. They could be a piece of shit. Because guess what? Pieces of shit serve their country as well. And the same applies towards appointed officials. Just because, you're gay does not make you inherently a good person. Mm-hmm. Just because you love somebody of the same sex does not automatically qualify you as being Saint Mother Teresa, whom I'm pretty sure opposed homosexual marriage. Now that I think about it. It's just that.
Probably.
But you feel like these are lessons that they should have already learned. That they should already have enough experience and knowledge on, but they don't apply because they know that their audience of whiners and crying snowflakes are going to shit themselves. And instead of relying heavily more so on the idea of maybe we should have someone that is actually by merit warrants being in that position versus, well, just because they like dressing up like a dog and holding spanking seminars and wearing fucking lipstick when you look like goddamn Elmer Fudd, then we should appoint them? No. And this is what you get.
I gotta say, he looks like he could be Matt Damon's twin.
He does. He fucking does. Matt Damon's hit some hard fucking times, boy. Hard times. I'm just saying.
I mean, is that his kid? Is he old enough to have a kid?
It's his little brother, apparently. I don't fucking know. It's crazy.
It looks like he spitty him out. You know what I mean?
All right, folks, we're going to take some calls for a few minutes. The number is 214-817-1689. Again, the number is 214-817-1689. And while we wait for those calls to come in, Route Service. Have you heard of this? Through Route, you can now add shipping and product insurance for your orders at checkout, starting at only 98 cents. You can also get tracking and real-time shipping updates through their app for free. For information, please check out the Route app or route.com. We offer this on Shell Shock. This is not a paid endorsement of their app. This is basically the product that we use where you can insure your products when you order from Shell Shock for like 98 cents, and it's not federal. It's privatized. So you get a really good deal. All right, we got a call. Let's go ahead and take it.
You there?
Yellow.
Hello?
Yellow, you're live.
Oh, hey, how's it going, guys?
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Hey, actually, didn't think that my call was going to be answered. Jonna, I've been following you since like late of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 19, by the way. I heard like a bunch of I don't want to say older, but like guys your age, like maybe millennial people, and I was like surprised not to hear anybody else that was like around my age. I just wanted to give in my perspective that like when you're criticizing the LGBT people that are indoctrinating these kids into pedophilia and all these, like, I don't think you should be like saying like, hey, I'm sorry, but like, don't feel afraid to be like, hey, I'm sorry, but like, fuck these people. Like they're fucking psychos and they're freaks.
Yeah.
They should be called out to their faces and fucking like, I couldn't agree with you. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie.
You're good, bro. You're good. I think it's more of a force of habit, not in the sense of like you mean like I'm sorry. It's more force of habit in the way you say, way I say that. That's why sometimes I'll catch myself like, well, I don't know why, I don't mean that. Like I'm sorry. It's kind of like a saying, I guess. I don't mean that verbatim or literally, but I get your point though. I agree. I think that America, by and large, should not be afraid to call out these people, especially their faces. And don't be afraid, because again, all they're going to do is they're going to try and counter you and levy accusations of homophobia at you. But folks, for that to be effective, you simply have to give it credence. All you have to do is like, yeah, that's not true, but whatever. Keep saying that, but you're a pedophile. You know, I feel like that's the direction we should go. And I feel like it's the direction that we are going, especially on platforms like Twitter and the like. Of course, Facebook and Instagram, they're always going to protect their own. But on Twitter, it seems like there's a lot of light being shed on, quite honestly, a lot of these issues that are basically surfacing around the country that had we not had a platform like Twitter kind of like open the floodgates, a lot of this information, if you really think about it, would not be getting passed around. Like we still would not know about the depths of the Hunter Biden laptop story and things like that. So, but thank you for your call, man. I appreciate it,
exactly.
Especially for being 19 years old. That's awesome.
Yeah. I wanted to interject another thing. I was hoping it wouldn't be too off topic, but it's like it's with the whole division we have in our country. It's like, I don't know what you would call it, but it's Republicans or Democrats or like communists or libertarians. I was hoping that like, because I actually had an idea of, it might sound a little corny, but like I had an idea of like creating this quiz on like Google Forms or anything like that, like Google Classroom or something, but it'd be like are you a good guy or a bad guy? And it wouldn't be like overly biased questions like, do you support Trump or anything like that. It'd just be like, do you support authoritarianism, or anybody who questions my line of thinking should be condemned, or like it'd just be like fair questions asked, like not overly biased, like left leaning or right leaning or anything. But like,
yeah, I get your point, but don't you think like Hitler knew he was bad and didn't care? People are going to take this quiz and they're not going to give a shit. There's openly authoritarian people on the left. And quite frankly, there's theoretically authoritarian people on the right that openly admit this. They don't care. You're basically applying your own level of morality, or the idea that they're going to give any care or credence to what is good versus what is bad. They're simply going to be what they are, and they're fine with that because they've justified it in their minds. Hence why Democrats have, again, finagled their way into changing their position on being more tolerant. In their mind, they can be intolerant towards people that don't agree with their viewpoints because essentially it's justified to be intolerant towards, say, for example, racists or homophobes or xenophobes. Yeah. But the reason they go at it from that angle is because it is at the baseline of it all that you disagree with them. And it doesn't actually make you a homophobe or racist. It's just the fact that you don't agree with their lifestyle. And again, like I said, your metric, I get it. It makes sense, but at the same token, it's pointless though. But no, thank you for your call, dude. I appreciate you listening to the show. It means a lot. But we got to move
real
on.
Quick, I got a question for you. Did you vote in the 2020 election, or were you 17 then?
I was 17 then. I'm not going to lie. I was, COVID really got me into politics again. Or like, I say again, because like a 2016 election, it was the whole like.
Right, you're pretty young,
everybody
so.
thinks that like Donald Trump sucks and whatnot.
Did you vote in this 2020 election?
No, I wasn't able to vote. I would have voted Trump. I wasn't UAnon supporter, but like I definitely thought that like, you know, Trump's gonna like save us all, and that like one day you would like see on the news like it would be the nervous anchor, like everybody else got fired or something. Like
I'm sorry,
like,
I meant,
good morning. Like,
did you vote in the 2022 election? Midterm election.
Oh, I'm not going to lie, I didn't, just because I think that, and I heard you say that, like, you know, folks, I know that like there's going to be people that are like, you know, the system is rigged and like what's it going to do and whatnot. And I'm not going to lie, if anything, I would have voted Republican, but just, I don't know if I have faith in that. I don't know, voting is going to really do anything. I think I'm coming across my main point here, though, that like I really hope that there's a chance that basic, like common Americans, like the everyday people who they're not bad shit crazy, that like we still have a chance to combat these regimes and these globalists, and I don't know what else to call them, but like, you know,
right, and you can't do that unless you vote, man.
The World Economic Forum.
Yeah, you got to vote. There's just no other way around that. Yeah, thank you for your call. There's no other way.
Yeah.
To go about that, then you got to vote. That's all there is to it. You can't sit there and say, I have no faith in it. Like, if you give up, you give up. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. You know, these young kids that are like 18, 19 years old and voting for the first time, that makes a difference.
Oh, it does, 100%.
But you've got to get up. You've got to, you know, do your, you know, your responsibility to get out there and.
Yeah. So all that hope, all that things he's talking about, great, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't go vote. And I understand, like, the system is rigged in some places. Yeah, I agree with that. But it doesn't mean you quit. It doesn't mean you give up. You can't. You can't.
You take another call?
Yeah, let's go and take another call.
All right.
Yellow.
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
What's up? What's up?
Well, great to talk to you. I'm a 67-year-old Air Force veteran. Seen a lot of crap, lived through too much. This whole COVID thing was some bat in a market somewhere. But I really appreciate everything you've been doing, John. I've been following you, been talking about you. You've nailed so many topics square on the head. I just want to say Merry Christmas. Thank you for what you're doing. You are reaching so many people. You and the rapper Comic, you're out there. You're talking the way it needs to be talked. And just want to thank you so much for it, what you do.
That means a lot. Thank you, especially coming from an older generation. That definitely means more, holds more weight, because, you know, we were always brought up to respect the older generation of veterans that paved the way for younger generations of veterans such as myself to grow up under and to look up to as the examples y'all have said, or y'all have provided for us. So that does mean a lot. So thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. I always appreciate calls like that. That means a lot, because, you know, sometimes you don't get like the feedback. Sometimes, you know, I don't know if that makes any sense. You don't realize if it's really doing any good. Sometimes you kind of feel like you're hollowing into an empty chamber. Maybe, you know, maybe nobody's listening. But it is nice to actually hear stuff like that. Like, I get friends that hit me up sometimes. They'll text me and say, hey, my boys, they've been listening to your show. And it's like, dude, that means a lot. Thank you. It really means a lot to us that people actually give a fuck what we have to say. Because, yeah, there's a lot of people that are going to come after us. They're going to disagree, whatever the case may be. And we always want to make sure that we're trying to be as intellectually honest as we can be, and be on the, I don't even say, I want to say right side of history, but the right side of truth. And also support the idea of liberty. But yeah, when you have people like that, those calls, man, thank you so much. That means a lot. That really does. All right, let's go ahead and continue moving on because we still got a lot more here to cover. I'm not crying. I'm just choking up because we should not have had Chick-fil-A prior to this because I'm burping like crazy. Oh my God. So just as quickly as he was hired, Superman, Henry Cavill, if you've known him from Man of Steel, he has gone. Apparently, he made the announcement that being that James Gunn, the producer, the director for the, we just said it the other day, Guardians of the Galaxy, apparently the pedophile tweeter and Joker, clown, that the left would normally cancel, but being he's a successful franchise director, well, then it's okay. He's taking over the DCU. And apparently, I believe it was his call, and Henry Cavill is not being he's not reprising his role as Superman. Henry Cavill has shared the sad news with fans that he will not be returning to reprise his role as Superman as previously announced. And they just announced that like not even a week ago. Which just tells me they're moving quick on this.
Yeah. This
isn't one of those things they're dragging their feet on. Like, they're moving quick. But
probably looked at the script and saw a gay kiss in there.
We're making Superman gay. And then the freaking, James Gunn's like, no, if it's not about pedophilia, we're not doing it. It's not funny. It has to be about children. No. The British actor said the reverse decision isn't the easiest, but that he respected the decision of the newly instated DC bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran. It comes as Gunn announced that a new Superman film was in the works, more details of which are due to be announced in 2023. Cavill, 39, played the legendary DC role in the 2013 Man of Steel film, and again in 2016 for Batman vs. Superman alongside Ben Affleck. His return to the character was revealed less than 2 months ago in a post-credit scene of Dwayne Johnson's anti-hero film Black Adam, with Cavill posting a video on Instagram confirming the news. But writing on Instagram on Wednesday, he said, I have just had a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and it's sad news, everyone. I will, after all, not be returning as Superman. After being told by the studio to announce my return back in October prior to their hire, this news isn't the easiest, but that's life, he continued. The changing of the guard is something that happens. I respect that. James and Peter have a universe to build. I wish them and all involved with the new universe the best of luck and the happiest of fortunes. Okay. His response and how he handled this, very well done. Classic. Like, look, dude, you can't force yourself into something. If they don't want you, they don't want you. I think Cavill bowed out gracefully on this one. But I think this is a massive mistake. I think Cavill is not the greatest actor. I will be the first one to say this. I am a fan of his acting, but he is no Al Pacino.
What else has he done?
He's done The Tudors. He's done the Sherlock Holmes series where he plays the sister of, I forget her, Amelia Holmes, some shit like that. The Witcher. It was The Witcher, which he walked away from that. He was guaranteed 7 seasons as The Witcher, but the speculation was, because I think he left after season 2, and it was catapulting him. Like, it was really just solidifying his career. And he's walked away from that, and people were speculating because he was going to return as Superman. But apparently now that's not happening. He's walked away from The Witcher. I don't know if he's going to return to it, but this does not look good for his acting career, and this is the other thing that I brought up, I think, a long time ago regarding Superman. This could be the curse of Superman in the acting world. We've talked about this.
Who was it before him? I forget the kid's name.
Exactly. You forgot his name. He's not big in Hollywood. Everybody that has played Superman, by and large, have had their careers kind of come to a quick fizzle out. And it's so weird. Mm-hmm. If you look at the role, the people that have like basically played Superman, I think it was Jim Reeves. Was that the original? He got shot, I think. Or not shot.
He fell off a horse and broke his neck.
No, that was Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves.
Who was the first Superman? Oh, fuck. It was the black and white version. I think he was the first. He was the first ever OG Superman. But if you go look up his story, this dude had a very, very bad life. And so basically, that's where the tale of the curse of Superman comes from, which is kind of, I don't know, like poetically weird in a way, that you play the son of Krypton, America's premier superhero, at cost to your acting career. It's kind of weird. It's like this weird type of like Twilight thing. But dude, Cavill has taken some serious career hits on this because he's walked away from The Witcher, guaranteed 7 seasons. That's good money. That's great money. Mm-hmm. And it's not that he walked away from his reprising Superman, but they didn't want him. And I feel like James Gunn, dude, I'm sorry. This guy fits the role. I mean, unless you're wanting to hire yours truly, which I think I would make an amazing Superman.
I think they want to go gay Superman.
I think they totally could. I mean, we could film a scene of, a super dick. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Put on these tights.
Advocating for gay rights everywhere. Up and a gay.
Why does everybody wear tights?
Gay Superman. Oh my God. These red tights clash with this blue spandex. We got to change this. No. Oh God. Flying up here at this altitude, it's such a draft. Oh.
I can hardly breathe.
Oh, it messes up my hair every single time. We got some children to groom. Let's go. That was so weird. It was very uncomfortable. But I think this is a bad decision by James Gunn, pedophile tweeter. And then stupid move on Cavill's part to walk away from The Witcher. But it is what it is. So that's official, folks. He's not coming back as Superman. I hate it. But then again, another part of me is kind of like, yeah, I think James Gunn needs to wipe the slate and start afresh because they have done a horrible job with the DC universe. Aquaman, don't fuck with it. It's worked. Leave Jason Momoa. That's Aquaman. That's the role he was born for. Heath Ledger, he was born for the Joker. That was his role. Like, he was born into that. Tom Hardy, Bane. That was your role. Christian Bale. Okay, I got nothing on that one. But still, I mean, he's still an amazing actor. You know where I'm going with that. But there are certain actors that is like, this role was you. It's just like you. It's by fate they connected. But I really feel like this was. I guess
we'll see.
Yeah,
can't be Superman forever.
I wished, but I feel like he's our generation superhero, our generation Superman. But I guess they're gonna.
Mine was Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
The original Superman.
Yeah,
who was like out of shape. He didn't look.
Didn't even look like Superman.
It looked like he was wearing pajamas.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. I'm very interested in seeing who now takes on the role of Superman because they did a new TV series about Superman. And this dude is he looks like a beta Superman. He looks like one of those nice guys that's just kind of like, oh, did I hurt you after sex? Are you okay? Like, no, he seems like a bitch. He does. I'm sorry. He does not seem like a man's man. Superman is a man's man. It's the man of fucking steel. Okay?
And tights.
Man of steel and tights.
All right? And a cape.
But they gate him up. They gate him up on this TV show. He's like metrosexual Superman. I'm not even joking about that. You can watch. I watched one episode. I was like, this is the gayest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, what the hell? It's like, no.
Turn the volume up.
Yeah. Why is there slurping sound? Oh, God. It's where we're at, folks. I just, I'm not, I don't get it, but to each their own. All right, folks, I want your opinions on this one. I wasn't sure on this. We did a story 2 or 3 episodes ago yesterday about Mattel Barbie pushing the transgender ideologies through their toys. And this was brought to my attention. Somebody messaged this to me over on Truth Social, which you can follow me at John Burke over there. If you know, I don't know anything about kids' toys. I mean, what the fuck would I? But there is this toy here, and I want to get y'all's takes on this. Am I going overboard on this? Because I don't want to repeat, again, what the conservatives did for the Santa Claus thing of the we love Satan versus Santa, and just pearl clutch is like, okay, that's a fucking joke. I don't want to go crazy on this one. But there is a toy called the Barbie doll Cutie Reveal, where they dressed the Barbie doll as a furry. It's got the complete outfit. This is not a joke. There is a furry costume the Barbie goes into. It has paws. It has a head, an entire outfit. And you basically, to reveal the Barbie, you've got to take the furry outfit off. But when you put the furry outfit on, it is made to look like an animal. Now, for those that don't know, this is a sex group in the LGBT and stuff like that. They are considered furries. They dress up like animals and they have sex with each other, I think, while still in costume. I'm not saying that to be funny. That's just the reality of what we're talking about. I don't know. Do y'all feel like this is over the line? Or is this just, hey, this is just innocent? Because the only reason I say I don't feel like this is innocent is because this is Barbie. Yeah. They push transgender dolls. Like, there's even a deer one here.
Yeah, she even has antlers. As soon as you cross over into making a trans Barbie doll or trans toy, and then you introduce something like this that's already pretty popular, and I guess the gay community, I don't know.
Dude, I don't know.
Whatever community, then it doesn't look good. I mean,
I'm looking at this, and I don't see how this is appropriate for children, considering what the opposite of this is, which is, the furry bullshit stuff. I don't know.
And I got to agree with, what was it? North Star? The North Star? Michael Keaton was the best Batman.
No, he wasn't. Yeah. No, he wasn't. See, y'all are high.
There's more of us out there.
Michael Keaton is not even that good of an actor.
What?
What?
Michael Keaton is a great actor.
Outside of Beetlejuice, what's something else he was good in?
You ever see White Noise?
Nope.
That was a great movie.
No, I've never. What is it about?
It was scary. It's about he looks at these TVs and he's trying to. His wife is on the other side of it, and he
you mean
gets
like
all
Poltergeist?
It's pretty creepy.
But
it's
clearly
based
it wasn't
on a true story too. Multiplicity.
Oh my God! You're talking about like Sandra Bullock chick flicks. Are you really going to compare?
Multiplicity?
Isn't that?
That's where he keeps duplicating himself, and he does it like 4 times.
Yeah, isn't that like a chick flick, a rom-com or whatever?
No.
It's not a rom-com.
It's just slapstick comedy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Michael Keaton's hilarious. He was hilarious in the other guys.
I'm going with Christian Bale as best Batman.
Oh, that's because you like to suck dick.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? That sounds like something I would say, damn it. You can't take my shit from me, dude. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Back to the furry Barbie thing before we got into this stupid little fucking argument. I don't even know how we got there, but we're there. I don't know, man. I don't think I would let my children buy this. I feel like this is it's trying to normalize something that is clearly not normal. Yeah. And I'm sorry if that offends you. If you're wanting to dress up like a furry animal and go jump on and dogpile some people, I think that you're kind of weird. And teaching that to children by proxy of this, no, I don't agree with that. But again, I didn't want to like I'm just making sure like I'm not reading too far into this. Like, is this just an innocent toy or is this legit some bullshit?
No, you really got to read into things now.
You do. You really do.
TV shows, these Disney shows, Netflix.
Well, it's because they try and freaking sexualize everything.
Yeah, everything's sexualized.
You have to be on the lookout.
As soon as you have something called Cuties.
Oh my God.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're here for the kids.
Well, Trump had a major announcement. He announced it over on Truth Social. Did you see this, folks? I wasn't even aware of this. Josh told me about this morning. We were sitting down after I had just finished off a nice case of dicks. And he was just like, did you see Trump's new announcement? Threw back a cock or two, because apparently that's what I do here. I suck dick. And again, folks, this is why we're never going to be on fucking Fox. Anywho.
Tucker, call me.
Yeah, Tucker, call me. What the fuck are we talking about? I'm looking at this like
Trump's major announcement.
Trump's major announcement. Josh brought this up to me when we were sitting down this morning at the table. And he was like, did you see Trump's going to make this massive announcement? And I'm not going to lie. I got a little excited. I'm like, do you think maybe, in the off chance, maybe, Trump's announced it? Because I was like, there's no way he's going to announce a running mate this early. You got to have primaries first. There's just no way. Unless he's announcing a run with DeSantis, which I feel would be, oh boy, like that's going to be interesting. I feel like it would unite the GOP.
Oh, yeah.
But, well, that's not what it was. The major announcement came not that long ago. And it was the tease for a release of a digital card collection. No, this is not a lie. This is not something, this is not something from the Babylon Bee. This is not Duffel Blog. This is real. And you go check it out on Truth Social on Trump's page. Former President Trump on Thursday announced a line of digital trading cards bearing his likeness after teasing a day earlier that he would be making a major announcement. While some speculated the announcement would be related to the speaker race playing out amongst House Republicans or Trump's largely inactive 2024 presidential campaign, it was instead about a new money-making outlet for the former president. Trump boasted that the digital trading cards featured amazing art of my life and career and compared them to baseball cards, but hopefully much more exciting. The cards are on sale for $99 each.
The man knows how to market.
You know, I really feel like this is a disservice to Trump. Whoever thought this up should be fired immediately.
It's a big dud.
It's a big dud. And you cannot continue doing this, especially when you are a self-made billionaire and all you're trying to do is make more money. No, this does not paint Trump in a good light whatsoever. This was stupid. This was a reverse boys who cries wolf. Boy who cries, like, this was nothing. This is a nothing burger. So, Trump, shame on you. Whoever fucking allowed you to do this should have their pee-pee smacked. Dumb move. Very dumb move. Because now, the next time Trump wants to make a major announcement, we're like, what is it?
I know.
You're going to lose your energy base that way. Don't do it. Don't fucking start doing that. Don't play the social media games. That's what these fucking influencers do. You're not an influencer. You're fucking Trump. And you know this. He knows this. But tell him I said that, motherfucker. Anyway.
He watches.
Yeah, I know he watches. Deputy, and listen to this. I saw this TikTok earlier this morning. It was this woman, and she's literally like, so, I think it's safe to say that we were right. We were right about the conspiracies to cover up COVID. We were right about the fact the vaccine does not work. We were right about the Hunter Biden laptop. We were right about the corruption of the BLM. We were right about the pedophilia and grooming and the LGBT. And she starts listing off all these things the left has accused the right of conspiracy theorism towards the censorship of conservatives on Twitter. And she lists this whole list. And I'm like, no, this is not propaganda. She is on the money with this. And I found that very funny because in reference to her talking about the Hunter Biden laptop, listen to this break. Deputy DNI warned that Hunter Biden's laptop was not Russian disinformation. CNN's Natasha Bertrand wrote now discredited story anyway. Let me start from the beginning here. Former Deputy Director of National Intelligence, DNI, Cliff Sims, stated on Wednesday that he warned CNN reporter Natasha Bertrand that Hunter Biden's laptop was not Russian disinformation before she wrote the infamous and now discredited Politico story, which used dozens of former intel officials to push a false and misleading narrative about the origins of the Hunter Biden laptop. Now, what did the FBI tell Twitter? This is why I feel like the FBI is now doing damage control. This is why I feel like the FBI, even if they sit there and say the truth, I don't believe them.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything you say. Because apparently Elon is telling them over at Twitter that the FBI was kind of like, keep it hush-hush. Mm-hmm. Like, let's not talk about this. Which, again, by their actions show that this is an actual, probably truthful story. But I really feel like the FBI is hanging CNN out to dry here. I really do.
They're a bunch of scumbags, dude.
Oh, they are.
Tucker Carlson had that piece that he did the other day talking about how there was like 14 or 15 ex-FBI agents that went to go work at Twitter. So, and they were like Intel people. What are they doing over there? Huh? Shenanigans? Swaying elections?
Yeah. They're clearly corrupt.
Keeping their thumb on misinformation, disinformation, what people can see, what they can't see, a Hunter Biden laptop. Yeah. Because they did a poll where there was 71% of people said that had they known about the Hunter Biden laptop, they would have voted differently. Yeah. That's a big number.
It is. It's ridiculous.
And that's a real poll that they did.
Again, man, we've beaten this horse to death time and time again. This is another example of why your three-letter agencies are completely worthless.
Hopefully it'll sway the fringe group.
Yeah.
To
understand, hopefully see
these are good guys.
Honestly, what I think it's going to take for the left to really fully embrace what it is that you and I understand and have come to know to be real corrupted FBI officials leaning heavily left and censoring the right. The only way the left is going to come out against this is if it ever reverses itself and it's instead going the opposite direction. Then they'll get on board. But until then, even them identifying and recognizing what has happened, they're not going to care. Mm-hmm. They don't care. They're perfectly fine with it. And that's what leads me to this next story, why Republicans got to stop being fucking spineless, and not even while Congress is in session. Conservatives disgusted, liberals delighted by Boner crying at Pelosi tribute. I'm not making this up.
I know. Bonner.
John Boner has and always will be an embarrassment to the Republican Party, one critic declared. A clip of former Republican House Speaker John Boner crying during the tribute speech to current House Speaker Nancy. No, he really cries, folks. He literally tears up. This is a woman that is a piece of shit. This is a disgusting, immoral, reprehensible human being. And I use that term human being very, very liberally, no pun intended. Yeah. She is a fucking snake, spawn of Satan. If Hillary Clinton and this woman had a love child, it would be the Antichrist. I guarantee it. And thank God women cannot reproduce regardless of what the trans people say. Conservatives portray the display of as an indicative of the establishment Republicans groveling to their political opponents, while liberals praise it as a sign of the good old days when political divisions between the two parties weren't as pronounced. Bullshit. Because anytime you have a gathering of the liberals, a gaggle of you retards, you do not miss an opportunity to take cheap shots at every Republican you can. Every fucking dinner you host, every event you have, White House press, all this bullshit. And there is not a time that goes by where there is not some fucking rinky-dink douchebag celebrity up there with a woke agenda slamming conservatives. So you'll spare me if I think that an act like this is just you being a bitch. Why don't you grow some fucking nuts?
Swamp.
Boner gave his tearful speech during Wednesday's official portrait unveiling ceremony for Pelosi, who has announced her retirement from the Democratic Party leadership after her role as Speaker concludes this year. Thank you, God. Boner, who was a Speaker of the House from 2011 to 2015, addressed Pelosi saying, "You've been unfailingly gracious to me, to my family, and frankly, my team here in Washington. And Madam Speaker, I have to say, my girls told me, tell the Speaker how much we admire her." While mentioning his daughter's appreciation for the Speaker, the former GOP lawmaker started choking up. The footage elicited mixed reactions on Twitter. ACT for America founder Bridget Gabriel did not find inspiration in Boner's tears. She tweeted, "John Boner has and always will be an embarrassment to the Republican Party. What a disaster of a person and a horribly corrupt politician." Conservative influencer Nick Adams didn't hold back with his poor opinion of Boner's display. He wrote, "John Boner crying as Speaker Pelosi's ceremony is truly one of the most despicable and lowly things I've witnessed in my entire life. John Boner is not a man. He is a beta feminist loser who most likely drinks soy lattes and avoids Hooters at all costs." Damn. Damn, he went hard on him.
Nailed it, buddy.
But it's, I mean, they're not wrong. Look, I understand.
You know, Democrats have been calling Republicans racist all the way back to, you can go all the way back to George Bush, Mitt Romney, like anybody who ran against them, they painted him as a racist.
Yep.
I mean, you can.
What other reason would you have to display something like that towards somebody of the opposing political party where we have become polarizingly different to the point where it's very difficult to reach across the aisle for anything? And you show an outward display of affection like that? The only question I have is why? I'm just kind of like, why would you feel that way towards her? And that's a rhetorical question. We know why.
Yeah.
They're clearly, figuratively in bed together. Yeah. Come on, let's be honest about this. That's why these politicians, it's just disgusting. What he should have said, it would have translated as, "Madam Speaker, you've made me and my team and my family a lot of money. Thank you. A lot of money.
Beyond measure.
FTX money coming in hardcore." Apparently now the new thing about him, that Sam douchebag with the fro, he's looking at life.
Oh, yeah. They'll probably kill that guy.
I think he's dead. Yeah, I agree.
Because you see Maxine Waters try to shut down that that hearing that they had.
We talked about it yesterday, yeah.
I mean,
like, she did not want him questioned by other members, and they were like, "No, we're talking to him." Yep. Even AOC is on the take, and you know how I know that? AOC tweeted about it, and she's like, "I'm very disappointed that we didn't get to question, him, but justice, blah 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 blah." It's like, no, AOC, if it was anything else, you'd be shitting your little Latina panties over there, crying out all kinds of racism and blah 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 blah. And this time she's like, "Oh, I'm so disappointed, but you know what? Justice will take its course." AOC, come on. We see right through your bullshit.
Oh, she's such a
it's so easy to read her poker face, like, or the lack of one, really. It's like, if AOC is not bitching and moaning and stamping her feet, then something's wrong. Yeah. Or she's been told, or like somebody pulled in the reins on her saying, "Okay, look, bitch, this is the way it fucking works.
Look, he gave us several $1 million.
Kiss his ass, AOC." She's just jealous that he raised more doing less than she did with her failed movie career about green energy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, this is real. LGBT advocate claims in House hearing that detransitioning is not a real thing. Oh yeah, it's real. An LGBT advocate claimed during a House of Representatives hearing that transgender people detransitioning is not a real thing. During Wednesday's House Oversight Committee hearing on anti-LGBT violence, Jesse Pocock, the CEO and executive director of the Inside Out Youth Services, made the claim in response to a question from Texas Representative Michael Cloud, a Republican, about formerly transgender people who have detransitioned. And they said, "I can't really speak to individuals' personal experience. Someone's gender is just a really personal experience, but I can tell you I've been in this work a long time. I know a lot of trans folks, close friends, family members," Peacock said, "and I've just never heard of a case of anyone detransitioning, so I honestly don't think it's a real thing." Do you not watch the news? Do you not watch social media? Do you not watch the press? Well, of course, the press is going to cover a lot of stuff up. You know, they're not going to want to like push prominent stories out there about members of the once trans community coming out and saying, no, this is nothing but propaganda and Marxist bullshit. They're not going to. Now, watch for it on Twitter, folks. Folks, I'm telling you right now, I understand that there are a lot of things I do not agree with Elon on, but I'm telling you the lethality that Twitter poses, a lot of these groomers, a lot of these places, Twitter is going to have to be the place where I feel like many of us have to rally. Yeah. I feel like, and I'm not saying that we're going to get a completely fair shake, but it's certainly a lot more fair than what fucking Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and the rest of these other douchebag platforms have offered us in the past. I feel like maybe Twitter is not, they're not going to get it right. He's certainly not getting it as clearly right as I would hope he would, but it's better than the bullshit we've been dealing with for a long fucking time. Rumble still got a long way to fucking go, but it's 10 times better than the bullshit we saw on YouTube. Yeah. That's for fucking sure. You can follow me on Twitter at Juan Burke, JUANBURK 1775, by the way. They're living in clear denial, folks. Again, once more, contrarian just to be contrarian. You know for a fact, she knows she's not stupid. Yeah. By the fact that she works in the transgender field, she knows all about detransitioning. I guarantee she could give you a list of how that actually goes about happening hormonally. I bet you she could even tell you the medication.
Probably.
This woman is not stupid, but she's playing stupid. And keep in mind, this is the same woman that has helped 13-year-olds transition.
Man.
Yeah.
What's wrong with these parents?
Look at her. She's got the insane look in her eye. Her name is Jessie Pocock. Anti-LGBTQ. You're the reason why there is LGBTQ violence. And it's not LGBTQ violence because that's the thing I love about this. If you're sitting there wanting to say, oh, we're not pedophiles, then why are you classifying hate crimes towards grooming and pedophiles as anti-LGBTQ violence or as LGBT? Why? If you say that you're not the same when people are violent towards pedophiles and shit, why do you claim it as an affront on the LGBT? Because it's clearly not. Or do we just want to go ahead and acknowledge the elephant in the room that it is? Damn. Knocking them out of the park today.
Yeah.
Fuck. You just take one look at this woman. And this is one of those times that I feel like the Maxine Waters speech of you should harass them in the streets, that's applicable here.
Yeah.
That is 100%. They should be fucking harassed. I hope they get doxxed. I hope everything happens. These fucking nut jobs are the ones going. She has helped 13-year-olds mutilate their bodies, folks. Kids and young girls that already have heavy influences from social media, body dysmorphia, eating issues, unhealthy behavior spawned from the image issues they derive from fucking social media because their parents probably let them have it. She's there only helping exacerbate this.
Yeah.
If you think that this trans thing is not a trend, you're sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. The shit that parents are saying is going on in schools now, that it's the cool thing now to be trans. But the crazy part about it was, back in the day, folks, I remember when I was going up to school, it was cool to be in a gang. It was cool to be in a gang. You thought you were like an actual gang. You're really not. You're like 4 or 5 dudes pretending like, oh, we're like the outcasts. We're like the blah, blah, blah. But the difference was we didn't gender mutilate our body.
Hey, what, you guys want to cut your penises off?
Let's cut our dicks off. Scorpions for life, man. What? So it was harmless fun. This shit, this is a trend that has lifetime implications.
Yeah. What are the parents thinking? I mean,
the parents aren't thinking. That's the problem. It's the kids suffering. We can't be mad at the kids. It's the parents, folks. It is 100%. The parents. These liberal parents, like that one video we saw of that one, the thing up in northern Texas where they had the drag show for children. Yeah. And you see them being videotaped from the outside. And you see this fat, alcoholic, redneck-looking fucking woman with her kid. And he's dressed like a redneck. He's got just bad clothing on. He looks like he haven't had a haircut in fucking months. Looks just like he's given up on life as well as her. And you just see her parenting style. She's out there cussing people, middle finger up, like saying the most weirdest, disgusting things. And this kid is standing right beside her. And then she tries to give him a hug and he pulls away. Clearly, these people have no business raising children.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. And these kids are encouraged by these degenerate parents, and a lot of this shit is not reversible. That the Navy SEAL that was trans is detransitioning. He even came out and said these chemicals are not reversible. But instead, you got the Vouches out there, and you got everybody else out there saying, "Oh no, it's not permanent." Yes, it is. It is 100. In many situations, it is chemical castration.
Yeah, that's what they give to inmates, right?
Yep.
Prisoners.
Yep.
I think that that dude Matt Walsh brought that up in a one of his interviews with a doctor.
Yeah,
who said the same hormones that you give these kids is the same ones that you give to prisoners to castrate them.
Yeah.
She left shortly after that.
Naturally, they're going to,
Strange how that happened.
Oh, it's such a slippery battle with them. It's such a slippery, disgusting battle because they will try and resort to every method of intellectual dishonesty to defend their position because rather than admit that they were wrong and everybody benefiting from that, and it wouldn't be one of those things that I would lord over your heads like, well, thank you, that we can actually agree on this and move forward and fight for what is good, what is just, what is morally right. But instead, you're going to double down and you're going to say, oh, no, it's not because of blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, then I'm sorry. I feel like you as a human being are a disgusting, perverse person. Yeah. Like if you sit there and try and defend pedophilia and genital mutilation, I just don't understand how you could ever be thought of as a good person.
You know, we talked about this yesterday with Brian about he goes to a lot of these community meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It really starts going to your school board meetings and confronting this stuff because when you don't show up there, that's when shady things happen.
Yep.
People, you have to get eyes on this
and
stuff.
voting on things.
And voting on things like
that you're not even aware of.
The kid that just called in, like if you're that young, getting involved in politics is very important at that age just to learn stuff.
But you got to vote.
Just go out and vote, you know?
You got to vote.
Whoever's giving you the most accurate information and providing the receipts to you, that's, you know, a good base to build on.
100%.
But you got to get out and vote. You have to be part of these meetings.
There have been many cases of formerly transgender individuals detransitioning back to their original genders, but often with the permanent damage to their bodies. Chloe Cole, an 18-year-old former transgender child who was on hormone blockers at 13 and had a double mastectomy at 15 before transitioning a year later, offered to travel to Washington to clear up any confusion. Detransitioners are pretty much used to being told that they don't exist, she tweeted Wednesday. Isn't that kind of funny? You definitely exist. You definitely have a voice when you announce that you are doing something that aligns with their narrative. But if you do something to discredit the narrative, well, then suddenly you don't matter. Where have we seen that before? Oh, yeah. Black people. Got the white liberals. Let's support the blacks. Oh, wait. They're becoming profitable and leaving the DNC. Well, then a bunch of freaking house slaves. Fuck them.
Open the border.
Open the border. We don't need the blacks anymore. Let's go for the Mexicanos. It's the truth, folks, and they call Republicans racist. Good Lord. Prisha Mosley, who was detransitioning after a double mastectomy at the age of 18, talked about her struggles in an interview with America Reports last week. One of the issues I have is the lack of identity, Mosley explained. And on top of not having a lot of friends and having issues at home, when I found the trans community and found a new identity and was affirmed, that's what caused me to transition. Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Pure pressure and sake of acceptance. Nothing to do with the internal fight between body and mind. It's just simple peer pressure.
Yeah.
And again, why do you think they're going after kids? Because they are more easily influenced than adults.
Yeah.
These people are just disgusting. Well, last story of the day, there's a reason I picked this story, folks. Let me first read it for you. Man who cheated on his wife with Ukrainian refugee dumps her as police get called to his home. Yeah, we're talking about this real quick. A British man left his wife for the Ukrainian refugee they were housing has broken up with his new lover just 4 months after ending his 10-year relationship. Distraught 22-year-old Sofia Karkatium made an attempt to win back her 30-year-old security guard boyfriend, Tony Garnett, by showing up at his house and professing her love for him, only he didn't answer the door. After Garnett broke off their 4-month-long relationship, Karkatium tried to win him back over the weekend by showing up at his house and yelling to him that she loved him while also trying to kick the door down. Neighbors overheard the commotion and dialed 999, which is the British version of 911, and the number used to reach the police in the UK. The reason I talk about the story is if you thought that you had a shitty life, get a load of this guy. Get a load of this guy. You house a Ukrainian refugee, you fuck her, you leave your wife for her, and then you go back to your wife and you leave her. And I'm sorry, but that woman just looks crazy. She just looks crazy. And this dude does not look like he's the most intelligent guy in the world either. Oh my God, you got a cross next to your eye, bro. I mean, come on. Come on. So the reason I read that for you folks is because, hey, if you're feeling bad about your life, at least you didn't do this. Feel good about yourself. All right, folks, that does it for today's episode of the All American Savage Show podcast. We appreciate you tuning in. Hey, did I tell you before? If I didn't, I'm telling you now. If you are on Locals and you want to support the show, if you like the content, if you enjoy what you hear and you want to throw some money our way, which goes a very long way, we're very grateful for that, you can support us on Locals, locals.com/member/John Burke. I'm going to post the link. And by the way, if you are a Locals supporter, you get to vote in what next month's giveaway is going to be. Again, the options right now are an iPhone, a 42-inch TV, or a $500 Visa gift card. Only votes are going to be allowed on Locals, and you've got to be an actual Local supporter. If you're not, well, I appreciate that. But yeah, go show some love to the show. Again, this is over on the Locals page, locals.com/member/John Burke. For some reason, it's not letting me post the link in YouTube chat because it's just being fucking stupid. But anyway, appreciate the love and support, guys. Go leave a great review on the podcast. It is Thursday. We're almost there, folks. We're almost there. Thank you for sharing the podcast, for leaving your rate reviews, and supporting Shell Shock as a company. You got anything to add, my man?
Hey, you guys have a great day.
And as always, you stay savage, America.